Check out the top 10 most popular Netflix series list of 2021 below, along with a brief synopsis of just what the heck it is that everyone's watching. But before we move on, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Number 10. SNOWPIERCER. Converting a film into a TV show is always a risky move, especially when that film is a super hit. And while this series doesn't reach the heights of the movie, it nonetheless has its charms, especially in its second season, which added Sean Bean to the cast in wonderfully scenery-chewing mode. Like the film, the series is also set on a train that endlessly circles the Earth, following a climate disaster that has left the whole planet frozen over and completely uninhabitable. The show examines the relations between different characters on the train, which has come to adopt a rigid class system that eventually leads to a major revolt from those on the lowest range of society. The series is not quite as bonkers as the movie in its stylistic approach, but there are some great performances and interesting character dynamics at play. It was with the aforementioned addition of Sean Bean in Series 2 that the show really began to pick up, with its gleefully evil villain injecting much more life into the series. Number 9. Ginny and Georgia. If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, then you must watch Ginny and Georgia series on Netflix. This series is showing a strained relationship between young mom Georgia, played by Brienne Howie, and her very headstrong teenage daughter Ginny, played by Antonia Gentry. This Netflix series is very significant of the 2000s drama. This series also shows the awkward dynamics between parents and their children, with the hour-long episodes touching on multiple social issues from sexuality to disability, self-harming, and race. The series also reflects a crime drama with Georgia, who has had a seriously hard life and ran away from her drug-addict mom and rude stepfather when she was very young, covering her tracks following the mysterious death of her husband. With lots of hilarious and heartwarming moments, Ginny and Georgia is a lighthearted teen drama, but it is also not with some very heavy topics throughout. Nevertheless, the series always brings us back to a place of warmth, with Georgia going to the ends of the earth to protect her kids. A must-watch, if you ask me. Number 8. Bridgerton. Netflix did not have much of a reputation for period drama until recently, but everything changed after the lockdown Christmas of 2020, when the whole world needed a little cheer. Santa Claus presented the most glorious series onto the streaming service on the 25th of December, just in time for us to binge watch with our tins of Quality Street. This series is based on Julia Quinn's popular novels and focuses on 8 siblings looking for love in sparkling Regency London. First to meet her match is Daphne, played by Phoebe Dynevor, who starts a fake love affair with the smoldering Duke of Hastings, aka breakout star and potential Bond, Regis Jean-Page. But will their showmance turn into romance? Fun and fresh with brilliant performances, lavish costumes, and a modern soundtrack, the series is a joyous distraction from everyday life, and it went down a storm. So much so that it has already been commissioned up to season 4, although Regis Jean-Page has announced he won't be returning. Boo. Each series will focus on a different sibling in search of a spouse. Number 7. Lupin. Lupin is the first French show to break into US Netflix's top 10. It's a thriller that follows suave gentleman burglar Hassan Diop, played by Omar Sy, as he tries to expose the corruption of a wealthy Parisian philanthropist, and in doing so, clear his late father's good name. The good old-fashioned heist series is both action-packed and suspenseful, but also smart and full of emotion. Part 1 of Season 1 hit Netflix this January, but Part 2 is not expected until the summer, so you have plenty of time to catch up on the first 6 episodes. Number 6. Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul star in one of the most critically acclaimed series of all time, only to be topped by a few HBO hits which sadly are not on Netflix. A local Albuquerque high school chemistry teacher named Walter White, played by Bryan Cranston, is diagnosed with terminal cancer. The real question is how long he actually has to live. Torn between his talents and his responsibility as a family provider, he becomes one of the most powerful players in the underground methamphetamine trade. AMC knocked it out of the park when it gave Vince Gilligan a chance to develop the series, which follows a chemistry teacher facing the prospect of an early death until he develops the funds to fund his cancer treatment. Although the series is now over, the series' legacy will carry on for decades given the stellar performances from the cast, excellent cinematography, and storylines that push the envelope of what a TV series can be. Number 5. Shadow and Bone. This fantasy book series comes to life on Netflix in this new adaptation, which won't disappoint its die-hard fans. Netflix's vault of young adult fantasies is bulging at this point, but Shadow and Bone makes this list as the cream of the crop. The Grishaverse is mostly done justice in the series of Shadow and Bone, which follows orphan mapmaker Alina Starkov as she discovers her powers, which create for her great allies and enemies alike. The series is perhaps slightly confusing to follow for non-book fans, but hey, isn't that what fantasy worlds are all about? 8 hours of peak young adult fantasy await you. Number 4. Last Chance U. Basketball. Last Chance U is another one of the most successful documentary series on Netflix, and Part 5 is the best season yet. The series, which follows the efforts of students of junior college aiming to break into big-time college football and, ultimately, the NFL, benefits from shifting its focus from oddball rural towns with outsized ambitions and imported talent to the inner-city Laney College in Oakland, California. Laney is not rich. It does not import players to improve its team. It does not house and feed its players. It's a genuine part of the community, and the players come from that community. The result is a series that shines a light on the growing dislocation and inequality in inner-city America as the overflow from neighboring San Francisco gentrifies the formerly blue-collar Oakland. And unlike previous seasons, Laney's head coach isn't an unbearable ass. It goes to some dark places, but it is all the better for it. Number 3. Cobra Kai. Netflix gave a second wind of life to Cobra Kai when it began its life as a YouTube Red or premium show. The series picked up decades from where the hugely successful Karate Kid movies left off, with Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso reigniting old rivalries. The third season of Netflix's fan-favorite Cobra Kai, a martial arts comedy drama based on the original Karate Kid films, hit the streamer this January. A smash hit with fans of all ages, the wait until season 4 might be a while, so catch up on the first 3 seasons of high-stakes karate school drama now. The series is camp, fun, and easily bingeable, making it a perfect addition to Netflix, with plenty of faces both new and old keeping you engaged throughout. Number 2. The Queen's Gambit. Chess might be a fascinating game, but it's probably fair to say most don't really view it as a spectator sport. On the face of it then, a limited series revolving around the subject might not sound like a likely candidate for a mega word-of-mouth smash, but Scott Frank's series The Queen Gambit became exactly that when it arrived on Netflix in 2020. Based on a novel by Walter Tevis, the narrative follows Beth Harmon, a young orphan and chess prodigy whose rise to the top of the game is offset by frequent struggles with addiction. Anya Taylor-Joy turns in one of the best small-screen performances in recent memory in the lead role, and is helped by a brilliant supporting cast that includes Marielle Heller, Harry Melling, and Thomas Brody Sangster. Lavishly produced and filled with wonderful period detail, the sumptuous series includes an array of expertly staged chess match set pieces and a plot that will keep you engaged for every minute of its 7-episode run. Number 1. Who Killed Sara? Alex, a man convicted of a crime he did not commit, is released after 18 years behind bars. Upon leaving, he only wants revenge on Rodolfo Lazcano, the person responsible for the death of which he was sentenced. Things get complicated when Alex starts a sentimental relationship with Elisa, the Lazcanzo's younger daughter, and when he discovers that Rodolfo is innocent and that someone else, who was skillfully kept in the shadows, was the true cause of his disgrace. That is all about the top 10 best Netflix series to watch now. If you did like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest and interesting videos.